I just happened to fall bare ass naked onto this.
We're not dumb. We know.
Oh boy! All right,
It's been 10 minutes and this has just gone crazy.
all right, all right. So on that note, 92 is it's an interesting question following up this discussion. Is what does your character hope for the afterlife?
Not my ass. No.
uh,
Ooh, that's a good question.
yeah,
So
clown afterlife.
I think that Honker hasn't yet, doesn't quite understand death
Mm.
because of their method of procreation or what have you.
Okay.
They more try and figure out the before life rather than what comes after, because he's just not quite there enough to comprehend that people can die and just don't come back. Jack in the Box can come back.
I guess I still don't totally understand the whole puppet thing. Can you for real die? How does that work with your?
Oh yeah.
Just seems like such a complex, deep ancestry.
I'm just a toy that was loved enough.
Oh, that's beautiful.
All right, Maz, Braz, Goblin Afterlife thoughts.
To be a really nice mossy rock.
Nice.
Yeah, I think just somewhere wide open and peaceful. No worries. Just total zen.
Wide open and peaceful, that's boring. Maz wants to be in a cave.
Comfy.
A damp cave with lots of smells. And creepy noises.
You'll be in there. You'll have all of that.
Oh boy. All right. So let me, and hopefully we won't have the weird lag problems we ran into last week. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So, anybody remember anything we got up to last time?
We explored a cave.
We did.
We found an old site of somebody lived there for a while in their journal.
Yeah, they were a thief.
But I don't remember if I looked at it yet.
You did look at it. It was a thief that had been hidden out in this cave at some point, somewhat recently, but it had been a while. But it seems like it had been abandoned or something happened to them. You're not entirely sure what.
Okay, that's right.
But yeah.
Then there was some poisonous something, and wolves.
Yeah. So yeah, really, really nasty smells in the southeast part of the cave at least the part that you guys went to so far in there. A bunch of wolves that you guys roughed up. There were a few left, but they kind of fled deeper into the cave, and you guys decided to call it for the moment and leave them be. Then you guys went and checked, according to this journal after you were looking into it, there was a place nearby where this thief had hid some stuff. And there was indeed some stuff in there. Decent amount of cash that you guys distributed amongst yourself, and a few other trinkets and things.
Wasn't there also a bear carcass?
There was. Yeah, so that was another thing you had noticed at this little pond here where you guys are at, which is where there was this tree that the stuff was hidden inside. There was a bear carcass that looked like it had been in a fight with something pretty big and was dead. Not eaten, though. At least not that you could like tell by whatever it was that fought it. It looks like it was fought and killed, but lots of claws, wounds of that type, and lots of large, kind of paw print, footprint type things. You've seen some of those around, but you have yet to see anything of that sort. Like you've seen these wolves, and there was like a bigger wolf among them, but not that big.
I think that was about all we got up to last time.
I think so. But yeah, so with where we are right now, the setup of the camp is proceeding apace. You guys are kind of making sure things are cleared out around the area here to make sure it's safe for you circus folk to be here, and of course when you guys eventually start doing some shows, we want to make sure that people coming to them are not getting attacked or whatever by weird stuff in the woods and things like that. So you guys are kind of on that part of the setup side of things, but yeah, you guys did spend a good bit of the day roaming around down here so far. The little island you guys went to over there at the Wisps, this cave. So it's getting pretty late at this point into the evening.
Well, I am very curious about the paw prints, but I definitely don't want to be wandering around the woods at night.
Fair. All right, so you guys heading back to the rest of the circus folk around there.
Probably should.
Okay. All right, so you guys head back up to the northwest here into the open area. Like the big top has kind of started the setup process. It's still not fully all staked out and things like that as it should be, but there was enough area cleared for that to set up. And then of course you guys still have all your various wagons and things that are around on the outskirts here, kind of to the southeast of the big top, so closer to the woods here is where you guys are all kind of set up in your little wagon circles and such, as it were. So you guys come out. You guys look like you've been through a little bit of shit. Nini, I think, went down a time or two. So you guys look a little roughed up. I mean, you guys have had the chance to rest and heal up a bit, but you look like you've been through it a bit. So you guys come into camp, and the professor sees you all coming in. Perhaps a little more ragged than you were when you left, and says, "Well, find anything interesting out in the woods? Look like you've had a bit of a rough time of it."
Oh, we found some wisps and a cave with all sorts of fun business inside of it. Honk honk.
And we found a bear carcass. Interesting marks on it and some rather large paw prints that I don't think belong to the bear.
Well, that certainly seems a bit ominous. Hopefully whatever it was has moved on. But I mean, if it took out a whole bear, I mean, good thing the bear's gone too, I guess, but sounds like there's bigger things out there. But we'll be sure to keep an eye out. I know that we've seen in the process of the cleanup around here, we've seen various paw prints out here in this kind of open field. Nothing abnormally large, from what you say, but looks like wolf prints, those kind of things around the area. So we'll be sure to keep an eye out. Make sure everybody stays safe.
Well, we did in the cave. We found what was left of somebody had been living in there. A thief got their journal. I'll go through it a little bit more, see if I can find anything else out.
Interesting. Well, I'm sure these isles have been here for many, many centuries, so I'm sure there are all sorts of old and ancient things lying around in unexpected places. So
yeah, I would like to, sit down and kind of go through the journal a little bit more in depth, see if there's any mention of paw prints or a strange creature, something like that.
Yes, of course. Here, come. We've got some food cooked up here. Have a meal. Have a rest. We've all worked hard today, and we all deserve a good rest. And he kind of
Here.
he heads over to the kind of the nearby stew pot of sorts that's set up here over the fire, and starts dishing things out for everybody. And you're able to kind of go and sit your separate ways. So you, Braz, you have this little journal with you here, and you look through it some more, and let's see here. So you look through it here, and you don't find anything noting any sort of large creature. I mean, the last entry date in the journal is several years ago, and so if whatever it was around, they never saw it, or perhaps it only came here recently, long after this thief was gone on whatever way their life took them.
Or it ate the thief.
Or it could have. Yeah, that is potentially a possibility, but that you mull around in your mind. But nothing noted. Just their various exploits as a cat burglar around Escadar.
All right. Well, it's still weighing heavily on my mind, but that is all for now.
All right. Is there anything anybody else is doing before you guys have a sleep?
What makes this town?
Escadar?
Yeah.
Decently large. I have a picture of Escadar here. There you go. So it's fairly populous. It's got maybe at least maybe 10,000 people, something like that. I'm not sure if it has an exact number.
Store in town at all, by chance?
A toy store? Yeah, I'd say there probably is somewhere. I'm sure there are toy makers or craftsmen of some kind, making little things for children. There's definitely plenty of people here, and there's enough commerce. This being, well, one, it's the largest town on this particular island, and it's also the port where the Navy of Absalom is stationed. And so it's a pretty active place. There is a lot of kind of seediness just from all of the sailors and stuff around that we kind of found out when we first got here talking to Indira. But there are still plenty of people that call this place their home, and all of the trade goods that kind of come and go with all the ships. There's families here, so yeah, you could probably head to the market and check it out. But I mean, it is fairly late into the evening right now, so nothing is probably open at this point. The market's probably kind of gone to sleep for the day at this point. But
I'm going in the morning.
Go in the morning. Okay. All right. Anything you're doing, Maz, or just the big sleeps?
Maz is probably like sitting really close to Braz and like reading over her shoulder, but pretending like she's not reading over her shoulder.
Okay.
I'll share with you.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not reading anything.
Okay.
All right. And in talking with the professor about this stuff you're into in the woods, he agrees that it'd probably be a good idea to keep some watch at various times tonight. Most of it is covered by other members of the circus, but are there any of you that would be willing to take a shift?
Yes, I would like the shift at the darkest time of night.
Okay. Sounds good.
Maz can take first shift.
Okay. Well, I mean, we only need like one or two of you, so the other circus folk are happy to take an hour or whatever, or half an hour to an hour, so they can switch out. There's a decent number of you guys, circus folk in this camp, so yeah. So you guys all kind of tuck in for the night. Some of you in the wagons that you have, others of you just kind of in bedrolls and small tents, those sorts of things. And you begin keeping watch. Most of the night is fairly uneventful. But for Braz, give me a survival check.
Okay. And then I would probably have Scorch with me while I'm on watch too.
Yes.
I'm gonna hero point that.
Okay. Okay.
Well, it's not much better.
Yeah, I mean, I would say I was gonna say like right before you rolled, I'd say probably having Scorch with you would help with that a bit. Give some circumstance bonus, him being a doggo. So with that in mind, that you guys are doing your rounds kind of around the camp, keeping an eye on things, and you see Scorch. At one point, they stop and are looking towards the woods to the southeast, and you can see that their hackles are kind of raised, and they're kind of letting out a little bit of a low growl, looking in that direction. Let's see, can you roll a perception check for me? Very nice. All right. So you look with your special eyes, and you're able to see. You're a decent way into your watch shift, and so your eyes are pretty well adjusted to the dark here. And looking off out into the woods, you see the shape of a few wolves kind of circling, kind of just beyond the edge of the camp here. And Scorch is kind of standing there, frozen, hackled up, growling in that direction. And you're kind of looking off in this direction too, having caught sight of these. And I'm gonna need you to roll a reflex save. Also very nice. So as you're kind of intently watching these shapes out in front of you, out of the corner of your eye, at the last moment, you see kind of rushing headlong out of the darkness, one of these wolves kind of trying to flank you from the side. It kind of leaps at you, mouth open, trying to get you or knock you down, and you manage to dodge out of the way in time, and it passes by you, kind of landing on the other side, and quickly turns around, and it looks like they are raring for a little bit of a tussle here. Are you getting anybody else up? Are you and Scorch trying to...
Oh, we're definitely sounding the alarm, but we're ready to kick some ass.
All right. So with that being the case, the other two of you go ahead. Everybody go ahead and roll initiative up here. Yeah, let me get... Oh, I do not need that many. Whoop. Hold on here. Okay, keep that one. And take off that one. Okay, take off that one. And let me actually move you guys over into the... it's being a little slow still. Not quite as bad as last time. Yeah, I don't know what they changed in this recent update, but something's a little fucky. Let's get you guys over here.
They cranked the fuckiness meter up to 100 by mistake.
Oh, you never do that.
We're all the little fucky here.
It's like when our friend accidentally changed the modifier in his Minecraft server to all tentacles.
Alright, almost everybody. Come on. Okay, there we go. And now we'll show these guys. Oh my god. What did they do? Okay, so you see, kind of coming at you guys on the camp here, 3 wolves, 2 normal sized, 1 larger. They seem to be whatever ones that were left in the cave in there are back with a vengeance. And it looks like Braz, you are up first.
Okay. Well, let's start out with a little fun here. Gonna make us up a Thunderstone moderate.
Nice.
And we're gonna throw that bad boy.
All right.
All these wolvies. Okay.
All right.
Do that.
All right. Well, that hits one of them, but I know that still has some splash around it. So go ahead and...
It does. And it also makes a very loud noise, so...
Yes, so that gets thrown, hits one of these wolves, goes off, damages it a decent amount, and then hits the others around it with kind of an AoE of electrical energy. And, in pretty short order, you see, some of the other circus goers kind of poking their heads out of their wagons and tents. Some of them are grabbing some things to help.
And I'll use my last action to just get another Thunderstone ready.
Okay. All right, so you prepare this other Thunderstone, and that brings us to the big one. All right, so the Thunderstone's gone off. It hit one of the smaller ones, and with this going out and damaging them, all 3 of them actually turn and run into the woods to the southeast.
Well, that seems too easy.
And they disappear from sight in the trees.
Maybe we should follow them.
Probably. But very, very carefully.
So, do any of you happen to be able to follow the tracks? Because I'm good at juggling and stuff.
I mean, you're good at other things too. Don't sell yourself short.
I'm like good at not leaving tracks, but I don't think that's the same as following tracks.
Gotta be somebody in the circus that's been a Boy Scout.
I mean, we do have an animal tamer.
I mean, there is Elysia. She tames snakes though. Their tracks are a little different.
Be that as it may, she still has more experience.
Fair. Okay, sure. So, you guys want to go see if you can get Elysia to come along and help you track these wolves down that are causing you guys trouble?
Yeah, I also would feel better about having a taller person with us.
Good point.
We don't need tall people. You can just stand on my shoulders.
I don't want to be tall. They need to be there, to take the hits for me.
Yeah. I mean,
That's true. Grotus usually does that for us.
Yeah, where the hell is he?
I think he saw some pretty lady and got lost again.
One time I fucking need him.
All right, so you guys head over to Elysia here, because she's she's kind of standing at the entrance to her wagon here, and you can see that Mr. Tickles, his head's kind of coming over her shoulder here, and she's kind of lightly petting him and kind of soothing him, telling him that it's okay. And she sees you come up and says, "Well, at least they left, right? That seemed strangely easy. Maybe they won't bother us after that."
Yeah, that's what got me worried.
I mean, that is
Why would they
strange.
go through all the effort of coming to the camp and attacking and then just immediately leaving? I mean, I'm little. Like, they could have eaten me.
Well, I mean, the only thing that I can think of is, unless they, just assumed that we were, weaker than we, or that we were as weak as we looked or something to them, and then were surprised that we weren't. I mean, that does still seem odd. Wolves tend to work in packs, and that all of them are just fleeing at the first sign of any sort of difficulty.
Yeah, it doesn't sit well with me. As much as I don't want to go into the woods at night, I think we need to follow them. Can you help us?
I mean, I'd be certainly glad to help. I don't know how much help I'll be. I don't know too much about wolves, but I can certainly help try to keep an eye out. I'm not sure I'll be of much use in a fight, but I mean, if I can keep my eyes looking for them, and you guys can keep your eyes on wherever your swords are pointing, then I guess that could be useful.
All right. Let's go, guys.
All right. So you all head into the woods to the southeast, into this opening here. And Alicia's trying to take a look around, see what she can find out. And at least from what she can tell, it looks like the wolf tracks, they head to the south, seemingly in the direction of the that log that goes over to that little island there in the middle.
Where the wisps were?
The wisps were on that second island connected to the one in the middle. They were over by the one with the trees on it. But you guys are kind of in the intersection of those paths there, and it seems like the most recent tracks are heading heading this way to the south.
Hmm. Alright. Everybody be on their guard and try to be as stealthy as possible.
All right. So, you creep quietly to the south here through the woods, trying to keep an eye out. And as you get up to the edge of the water, kind of the swampy water here, where the log is at, you guys look out across the log, and you see over on the island there, you do see the wolves over there on that island. There isn't really a lot of cover on that island in particular, but you do see them. You do see them out there. They seem to be kind of circling about on like the southern end of the island.
Everything in my gut's telling me that that's just really weird, but I can't put my finger on why.
Are you guys just going to continue to watch from the bank there?
I mean, probably better to not provoke them. Plus, I already gave them an ouch, so they probably don't like me very much.
Fair. All right. Oop, my map just closed for some reason. Hold on. Okay. There we go. Now we're back there. Okay. So if all of you are staying here watching from the bank, everybody roll a perception check for me. Okay. So Braz, Maz, both of you, you're kind of sitting here, crouching, watching these wolves, and then you hear to the north of you, in the direction of the camp, what sounds like a scream, followed by what sounds like the movement of something very large, and then kind of the crashing of branches snapping and things like that to the northeast of you, as something is rapidly moving through the trees.
Shit.
Oh,
That doesn't sound very good.
Nope. And I will haul ass back to where all the noise is coming from.
Honker, let's go. Shit's going down.
it takes a second for me to collect my juggling clubs from the air, but I'll follow along.
All right, so you kind of rapidly make your way back to camp, leaving these wolves to whatever the fuck they're doing here to the south, and you find the camp is in a bit excuse me, in a bit of an uproar. You see people are out. They got torches out. They've got kind of crude weapons and things, and one of the tents, it's as you come and approach, it was the tent where the dwarven throwers sleep in. Um, three of the brothers are there, but one of them is missing, and they seem to be kind of in a worried panic, talking to each other and kind of gesturing toward the woods to the southeast, where you can see a fairly clear trail heading that way into the woods. You don't see any blood, but there is a fairly obvious broken path, pretty big kind of path cut through the trees by something going through it, kind of directly to the east, towards, like, through the trees towards where that little pond is, and wherever beyond that you're not entirely sure. It's too dark to tell, but it seems like something yoinked one of the dwarven throwers here and ran off into the woods.
Shit.
Oh, excuse me. The dwarven throwers are not speaking. They do not speak. I forgot about that. They speak in charade and sign language, but they are gesticulating wildly.
Okay, try not to laugh at that. I don't know what to do.
Well, I will say, even though Grotus and Nini aren't here, we'll still control their characters. They're here with you guys, even if they're not speaking. So don't feel like it's just the three of you. I'm not going to leave you guys high and dry without your big punching bags.
The crazy one who goes running in, and I just follow him.
Grotus is like, all right, guys, let's ride in this rodeo.
Holy shit, Grotus.
Oh my god.
That is really something Grotus would say.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good, I'm gonna say. All right.
Okay. I think, yep, let's... Okay. We might get eaten tonight, but you know what? Let's do this.
So as you guys are kind of preparing yourselves to go after this, like, the professor comes up to you among all the commotion. He's like, I don't know what that was, but it was some sort of big wolf man creature thing. Took one of the throwers and ran off into the woods. Be careful out there if you're going after that. It looked a bit nasty.
I kind of give him a look like, no shit, Sherlock. Still holding the, my Thunderstone thing in my hand. And let's run after this thing.
All right. You guys just kind of directly following this, path that busted through the bushes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't have any other plan.
All right. So you guys, head directly to the east, through the broken brush here. Find yourself back at the pond. Bear carcass is still here. And you see that the path through the trees continues to the southeast. There's that kind of band of trees right up against the cliffs there. And why do I keep losing my map? There we go. So it kind of crashes through that band of trees there that's like just outside the entrance to that cave. And you kind of continue through those trees, rushing as best as you can. Branches and things were broken, obviously, but, as something passed through rapidly, not everything broke. Some of it got pushed aside and then swung back in, so it's not, like, amazingly clear. But you eventually find yourself at the mouth of this cave, and you can't really make it out very well from kind of from all the bouncing around in the cave that the sound does. But you do hear what sounds like yelling, and kind of interspersed with weird snarls and kind of animalistic kinds of sounds. Nothing that you can really make out very clear. but it's definitely coming from inside the cave.
Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors for who goes first?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
How are you, rock, paper, scissoring?
Oh, I would probably say just roll a d4 and whoever rolls lowest goes first.
Sure. That works. And
You
if
pick rock, don't you?
Moz always picks rock.
I knew it. God damn it. All right, I guess I'm going in first.
All right. So Roz, you and Scorch and the rest of the gang. Here, let me get you guys in here. Okay, it's not.
5 minutes later.
Well, it's not being really. It's not being super laggy right now with moving, which is good. So
Oh, mine is being hella laggy.
Oh, and mine's just being crazy.
yeah, oof. I'm gonna have to go look up on Fantasy Grounds' forums or stuff and see if anybody else is running into weird problems with this update. 'Cause...
Yeah, like I'll go to move it slightly and it just like completely moves the map like to the other side.
yeah.
And now it won't move back.
Okay. Well, if you need to, at least it seemed to help for me. Like when my map closed for some reason, when I opened it back up, I was able to move stuff around a lot better. So if you do,
Maybe I'll close it.
yeah, like everybody put X out of your map. I'll reshare it, and we'll see if that helps at all with this. All right, let's reshare. Okay. Hopefully that's a little better. All right, so you guys, make your way in. Nothing in the first room. Further back in, still nothing, but the yelling is coming from deeper in. So you guys are kind of outside the room where you were dealing with wolves before. You don't see any wolves in this room, but you can still hear the weird noises, the yelling, and whatnot coming from further inside. You still aren't quite able to make it out very well just because it's mixed with so many kind of animalistic sounds, but it sounds like speech, kind of. Like almost like somebody is like yelling, like it sounds like whatever this is like yell speaking, or yell interrogating, or something. Like it sounds angry, and it sounds perhaps a bit confused a little bit. It's hard to tell, but it sounds almost like speech, just unclear. But yeah.
Wonderful. That definitely doesn't make it any less scary.
Fair.
Okay.
And it could
let's-
be ghosts.
I would take ghosts right now. Okay, let's keep going.
Alright.
Trying to be braver than my size here.
Alright. Here, we'll get everybody scooched up in here. Okay. Let me cover this last bit of the cave here. Alright.
Die in this cave, aren't we?
Eternity as a rock has become closer.
Oh my god, you predicted this with
Oh,
the answer
shit.
at the beginning.
Damn, maybe this was a very fitting question for today after all.
Smells and sounds.
Smells and sounds. And rocks in a cave.
God.
All right. So
All of Maz's favorite things.
Oh my god. We're gonna die. Anyways.
All right. So in this this last room of the cave here, you see down in the southern corner is a large, almost kind of wolf man-looking thing. He has this like dark orange fur and a very kind of overlarge jaw that gives him this weird lopsided smile. He's also got like the ears on him, like they're not his ears aren't really like wolf ears. They're almost kind of goblin-y ears. They look somewhat similar to your own. And let's see, I think I have a picture. There's a picture of him somewhere. Hold on. Here it is. There you go.
No boy.
I mean, he's almost cute.
Kind of. Yeah, so there's this, and he is kind of hunched over. You see the one of the dwarven throwers. Nobody actually knows what any of their names are. They're just kind of a unit together. But you see one of the dwarven throwers is here, and this creature is kind of standing over him, kind of yelling at him almost, and you're able to make it out a little bit better from here. And he is kind of rapidly and roughly interrogating this dwarven thrower about the circus and why they're here and why they are after him again, and that he didn't want anything to do. I mean, clearly he picked the wrong person to take for this kind of process, because Dwarven Thrower doesn't fucking talk. And, this dwarf
He would
is...
have had no way of knowing that.
Yeah, you would have had no way of knowing that. But yeah, this dwarf is, you can see he's trying to speak with his hands, but this, whatever this is, does not understand what that means, and he seems to be growing increasingly frustrated by the lack of answers. But you can hear the, like I said for earlier, you can hear like the confusion in his voice a bit. And for some of you, all of you roll a, what is it? What skills do you guys have? I can't remember if this is one that's here. Well, there isn't really like a history check, so I guess lore. We'll go with lore. Roll lore check. That's closest. Okay, so Braz, something. So all of you used to be in the Celestial Menagerie a long time ago, and Braz, for you, like something about the voice, and also a little bit about just like the color of their fur. There's something familiar about it. Not like super familiar, but you're just like, why? Like, why do I feel like I know something here? And like that's about all you're able to piece out of it. You're just like, because this is, whatever this is, you've never seen one of these things before. So, that alone, you're a little confused as to what is familiar about it. But there's something, like in the back of your head, you're just like, huh?
Okay.
And, as you guys are all kind of standing here while this is going on, and he's yelling at this mute dwarf for answers, he, whirls around and sees you all here, and is like, "See, I knew she'd come back for me. I won't go back there." and he kind of lunges in all of your direction. Everybody go ahead and roll up initiative. All right. Let me clean up my combat tracker here a little bit. Hi, Mocha. Okay. So, Braz. Or wait, nope, sorry. This thing is first. I didn't scroll up far enough.
Wonderful.
Whoop. Okay, so he lunges in your direction. Let's see, speed-wise. Let's see if I... All right, he can get up to there. So he runs up in your direction and kind of jumps and tries to claw at you, Braz. These big old mitts of his. Whew. Hits. Whew. Slicing you good with those claws. And like as he hits you with his claws here, you he like hits you and then pauses, like you see like kind of a weird like pause cross his face for a moment, and you get that weird sense of like something familiar. And what you like, what gets you this time about the weird familiar feeling you're getting is the smile. Like the way his smile looks. He has a very distinctive, large, lopsided grin. And you feel like you've seen this somewhere before. And in particular, you feel like you remember knowing someone who was in the Celestial Menagerie with you all as a sideshow. You didn't know them very well, and you don't know very much about them, but you remember some sideshow feature at Mistress Dusklight's called the Grinning Goblin. And, again, you're a little confused because what you remember of that sideshow did not look like this at all. He was more of, kind of a goblinoid, a lot smaller. Still had that just strangely off-kilter large smile. But, whatever's happened to him in the time since then, you're not entirely sure. But you remember this as he hits you real good.
Wonderful.
Indeed. And, after he does this, he, kind of raises up both of his hands here and tries to knock you over. And so roll a... All right, you do manage to avoid that. Like that, like your mind's kind of going at 100 miles a minute right now with all these just kind of strange memories that are coming back to you, and on top of all of just the heightened senses of big scary thing in a dark cave, and people being kidnapped and all sorts of other stuff. It's a wild time in Braz's little head right now. But amidst that wild time, you do manage to dodge out of the way of that, of him trying to knock you over. And he kind of lets out this angry snarl at this, which brings us to you, Braz, with all that information.
So I'm gonna try to stand in the most non-threatening way, which is probably not hard because I'm little. and say to him, "Please, I swear, I recognize you. I don't know how, but I do. I'm not here to hurt you. Please, can we just talk?"
All right. Roll a. I know it's not like intimidation that you're doing, but I think that's probably the closest. Well, I guess diplomacy would probably.
Diplomacy?
Yeah, I mean either way, it's going to be like the same modifier. So, but yeah,
Can
we'll
I
say.
aid if she needs it? I guess.
Uh, uh, what was your for the aid? Like, what were you like? What were you trying to do to like aid?
Juggle.
Like, juggle.
I
Alright.
have
That's
enough.
pretty non-threatening.
I've like stacked a bunch of feats to basically make it so like me just doing clown shit is diplomatic.
I love it.
I love this game.
I know, it's great. It's great. Um, sure, we'll say that aided. So that would have added a little bit of an extra onto it. But I mean, you were good as you were, Braz. But you know, there's a little bit of juggling clown action going on in the background, and surprising. So you're saying this to him, Braz, and you see him kind of grab at the sides of his head, and you know he seems confused and angry. And interestingly, the clown business in the background from Honker is having the opposite effect. That is not helping. He seems to not like circus, and you know, clown juggling and stuff is taking him to a bad place, it seems. And you know, like he's confused and angry, and you know Honker is trying to do a little routine back here, and he begins kind of shouting again. He's like, "No, you're from Mistress. Won't go back there." And you know he's kind of running off. Like he kind of runs back a bit away into this corner of this cave, away from you guys. Not happy about clown stuff. What else are you doing on your turn, Braz?
Okay, I'm gonna go like to him, but just move up a little bit, kind of put myself between him and the group.
Okay.
And I'm gonna keep talking to him like, we're not gonna hurt you. I'm sorry my friend there bothered you with whatever he's doing, but please just let us talk to you. Let us try to help you. And also kind of gesture to the group to like kind of lower their weapons and look non-threatening.
Okay.
I'm not gonna attack this dude.
Okay. All right. And while you're doing this, Braz, like you know, he's kind of run off into this corner here. You got him distracted. The dwarven thrower that was down here at the end, he's kind of moved up along the wall and slipped around the corner here. He's kind of standing over here next to Scorch now, kind of getting himself out of his little bind down there, and kind of putting all of you between him and whatever this is. All right. That brings us to Maz. So, I will say for this particular instance, on each of your turns, if you want to try to like roll a lore check to see if you remember anything, because like aside from Nini, who's not here right now, all of you were in the Celestial Menagerie, and so clearly something's going on here. Braz has remembered something, and I would say on each of your turns, if you guys want to do a lore roll at the beginning of your turn to try to see if you can figure out what the heck Braz is on about with this guy, certainly welcome to do so. I think that is a reasonable thing that you would be doing in response to this very strange situation.
Okay. I guess I will do my lore check then.
Okay. Okay. So, Maz, you are thinking about the situation here. And, you're kind of up behind Braz, seeing all this. And, the torchlight that you would have, since Grotus does not have dark vision. You notice something on this creature's shoulder, and there is a distinctive brand on his shoulder, which you know very well, because all of you also have one in various locations. Where that is up to you. But that was years ago, and has long been. It's healed. It's still there. It's a brand. It's scarred, but it's not something you really think about anymore. It's something you don't really want to think about. But you all had been branded with Mistress Dusklight's insignia when you were stuck in the Celestial Menagerie under her. And you can see it very clearly on this thing, on its shoulder. So yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna try and talk to it. So I basically am just gonna like step closer to where Braz is.
Okay.
And look at it and be like, we don't work for the mistress. We ran away from her. You don't have to worry about us. We're not trying to hurt you, but look, if you hurt my sister again, I'm gonna get real angry.
All right. Roll me a diplomacy check. Okay. All right. So, you've remembered this stuff, and you're stepping up, helping out Braz here with those, and with that roll, it seems to be having some sort of effect. I mean, this is a pretty angry creature, and clearly it's been through some shit. Shit that you are probably pretty familiar with yourselves. But it your words seem to help a little. Like it's hard to tell. This is a big wolf man thing creature, but he seems to be maybe even listening a little bit. So. Is there anything else that you do on your turn?
Yeah, I'm gonna heal Braz.
Okay. All right, go ahead and do your roll for that. Oops. Well, with that roll, I mean you try to kind of help Braz, bandage up a little bit, but it's.
I give Braz's cheek a little kiss.
That's about all that you can do with that. Give her an emotional bandage.
Aww. That's So sweet.
All right. Honker.
Did they look to be like wearing things or like have like when they hurt Braz, was it with a weapon or just with their claws?
That was just their claws.
So they seem to be kind of unarmed.
Yes. Yeah, you don't see any weapons aside from what's built into it. She'll put that up here.
Okay, I'm Honker will come in. And I will talk about I'll say, hey, you're not with the mistress anymore. There's nothing to worry about. I got all sorts of new material. You don't have to be scared anymore. I promise it's better this time. And I'll cast Inspire Courage,
Okay.
which is just like it's a cantrip that gives everybody like a +1 to
Yeah, it's like all their stuff, yeah.
to stuff. But I will attempt to include them in it as well.
Okay. All right.
It says I inspire my allies, so maybe I can see them as an ally.
Okay.
That's kind of stretching things. I don't know.
I mean, they are fellow escapee of the mistress.
You know what? You know what? I think that I give yourself a hero point for that, because I think that is a pretty interesting interpretation of that for this situation. So
It's a trauma bond.
trauma bonding. We're trauma bonding here in this dank cave.
Wait, that is like the deepest form of bonding in the deepest part.
That's great. Yeah, definitely give yourself a hero point for that, because that's good shit. But yeah, so you cast this in Inspire Courage, kind of, lifting, everyone's spirits a bit, including this thing. And, it seems to, it's definitely still defensive. It's kind of standing defensively here in this corner. But it seems to be kind of more of a guarded defensive instead of I'm going to maul you to death defensive. So that that seems to have had some effect. All right. I know Grotus is not here right now, and we're not being very punchy, but I don't know if you guys have any ideas as to what Grotus might be doing in this situation.
Probably drinking and expounding upon the freedom to be found in the Circus of Wayward Wonders, subtly jabbing at the system and espousing the communal socialist thing we've got going on.
Yeah, that pretty much nailed it.
Yeah, that does sound pretty accurate. All right, yep.
Yeah, Grotus would be like, yeah, that hag is dead to us.
I love it. That's great. All right. Anini will say, Nini wasn't in the circus or wasn't in the menagerie, and says no context as to any of this. But seeing as you all are going a different route than violence, they will stand down and try to do the same. Actually, let me see.
Maybe does some drugs about it.
Actually, let me see. Does Nini have any helpful things that aren't damage they could cast? Let's see.
I mean, like, probably. Like, Nini is kind of like Mary Poppins. She's got everything in that bag.
Yeah, a lot of real illicit stuff in that bag. That's for sure.
If Mary Poppins was a stoner,
Oh boy, let's see. What does this
I'm
do?
sorry. Have you seen Mary Poppins? Of course she
once
does
when I
drugs.
was, and I don't really remember it.
Okay. Okay. So what Nini has that would help in this situation, that seems reasonable that they would be doing, is they use forbidden word on this creature. The forbidden word being attack, which means that in order for them to do so, they will have to overcome the psychic block that Nini has put on them. They're not aware that this is there, but if they do try to attack again, that will come into effect. All right. So that brings us to top of the order. Bra is still at the top of the order.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do my lore.
Okay.
Nailing these lore checks.
Nice. Love seeing the good rolls. All right. So let's see. You recall, just from the grinning goblin thing, the sideshow, like you've been kind of racking your brain a bit while everybody else was doing stuff, trying to remember anything you could about this particular former member of the Celestial Menagerie. And you recall that their name is Kalkik.
What was it?
Kalkik.
Kelkick. Okay.
Kalkik. Kalkek. And at least from what you guys knew of him, when you were in the Celestial Menagerie, he definitely did not look like this. He looked like a goblin, or at least a goblinoid. He was some kind of goblin. He wasn't like the same type of goblin as you guys, but still a goblinoid. And you recall that, in the sideshow where he was, the mistress kept him pretty locked up, and also on a lot of drugs to keep him calm for now possibly clear reasons. But yeah, from what you recall of Kalkek, he was always pretty zooted, uh, all of the time, and kind of locked up in his particular area where his sideshow was. But yeah, so it who knows what he would even remember entirely from that, aside from clearly some bad shit. But yeah, he was very drugged up, like all the time that all that you can recall of him.
Okay. Turn to him. Say, I remember who you are. You're Kelkick. I don't know if you recognize us. The mistress used to give you a lot of bad things. But I remember you. Please, do you remember anything? Please just try to think and just take some deep breaths. Where nobody's pulling their weapons out. We just want to help you. Seems like maybe you've been through a lot since you left. But she can't hurt you anymore. She's never gonna hurt you again. And I'm just gonna Say lots of calm things to him.
All
I
right.
had his Xanax offer it to him, but
Right. All right. So I would say for this, go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and roll another diplomacy, and I would say that's with like a +2 circumstance bonus, just from the stuff you guys have successfully remembered from all of these fucking great lore rolls you guys have done.
okay, I added that +2.
God damn. All right. Well, you're good there. So you're trying to calm this thing, and it seems to be working. He still looks a little defensive. He's been through some shit. We've all been through some shit in here. But he kind of sits down. He sits down on a rock over here, and you see let's see here. After a moment of him sitting here on this rock, you see his kind of form kind of ripple and change a bit. And he polymorphs into a goblin. Somewhat similar to you guys. Like he's definitely still got some kind of distinctive features about him. He's still got a little bit furrier than a goblin usually is. And he's still got that very strikingly large, toothy, lopsided grin. But he's just a goblin. Clearly a goblin with some other attributes, but you're not sure what that other part is, but he's just a goblin.
Cool. And I will just sit down where I am, just crisscross applesauce, and that'll be all.
All right. So you sit down. Things are calm. Things are good. And Kalkik is sitting over here on this rock in a somewhat more familiar form, I guess, especially for all of you that were in the social menagerie before. When he changes back into this form, all of you are kind of like, oh, yeah, okay, like in your minds at least. Okay, now I recognize who this was. How much you remember about him varies, but you at least recall seeing them before back then. But yeah, he's sitting over there, and he just kind of starts crying. Like this guy is confused and fucked up, and he just doesn't know what to do. Like he believes you enough, that you're not with the mistress. But yeah, he just kind of breaks down over here.
Oh, I'm not so good at the crying. There. Somebody comfort him.
Can I walk up and pat him on the back and comfort him too?
Yeah.
Would that consider him a willing creature for the purposes of spell casting?
Sure, I'd say so.
Right. I'll cast Soothe on him.
Okay.
Which, if he's hurt, it'll heal him a little bit, but it also says you grace the target's mind, boosting its mental defenses. And it'll give him a bonus against mental effects for duration. Not the same as a psychology session, but it's the best I'm home.
All right. Yeah. Clown psychology is what we got. Clown therapy.
Yeah, I'll go over there and be like, well, we all get tricked once in a while by somebody advertising to be a good mistress, and it just goes south from there. She didn't take my safe word either. I'll show him my burn scar and soothe him a little bit.
Yeah. So, this clearly helps. And, he sees, like, your scar, and, he's trying to think, and, he can't remember a lot for obvious reasons. But, he does look a little puzzled. He's like, I feel like I have seen you before, but people who leave the mistress disappear. She comes after you. How are you still alive?
Family.
We stick together, kid.
We've got a whole bunch of us. Some of them have some pretty good brushes, so you could use brushing.
I tried. I tried to make a family, kind of. These wolves, I could speak to them. Here, I thought they would help keep me safe. They would just kind of serve me here in this cave. Thought they would keep the mistress away.
Yeah, they're kind of cowardly.
Well, I mean, they would do what I told them. I saw this circus going up nearby, and I thought it was the mistress. I ran away from the circus not too long ago. I don't really know how long. It's hard to say. But recently. And so I figured she would be on my trail, because that's what they always say. You can't leave the menagerie. And if you leave, well, then you're gone in more ways than one.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, friend. She is here in this town, but you stick with us. We'll protect you.
And you guys aren't. You guys don't do what the mistress does, right? Like,
Well, some stuff like the drugs.
well, I don't want any of those.
Yeah, you do. Trust me. Just give it a couple days, buddy.
No, it's a much better situation. I mean, I don't want to push you. I understand. You've been through a lot. We all have. But if you want, you're more than welcome to come back with us. And I know our group will welcome you with open arms.
Well, I'll think about it, I guess. I mean, if we're still so close to the menagerie, I don't know if I want to come out in case the mistress comes after me. But
That's understandable.
I mean, at least I'll leave you guys alone.
I mean, as you know, we're close by. We're very near the cave, so you can come see us whenever you want. We're here for a while.
Okay. Well, I will try not to cause you any more problems. Things can get a little difficult. Well, I guess in the menagerie you probably didn't really see the other side very much.
The other side, no. She didn't give us mirrors very often.
Let's see. So, let's see here. So he explains a bit to you about himself, at least what he knows. What he is that he is a greater Barghest. Is what he is. Which is a somewhat goblin-related fiend that is a cross between a wolf and a goblin, and they typically come to this plane of existence to feed on the souls of mortals. And at least from when he's describing this to you, Braz, you guys have kind of heard of this creature before, not by that particular term, but that sounds familiar. Because Barghests are known to often seek out tribes of goblinoids and then like rule over them like their own little cult. Just because of the power that they have. And at least from given all the bones and things and whatnot around this cave, certainly seems like there's been a lot of corpse consumption, which is what they do around here. But yeah, that is what he be.
Cool.
So we solved that puzzle.
Yeah, I mean, can we bring you anything, like, in the meantime? Like a comb or, I don't know, a chicken?
I mean, I can fend for myself out here. That's fine. I don't want to trouble you. But, like I said, I know you guys are not with the mistress, so I don't have any qualm with you then. If you're not after me, I'm not after you.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, can you tell the wolves we're sorry we didn't know?
Oh, yeah, I can let them know. I mean, it's understandable. They were trying to protect me. Well, I made them, but yeah, I'll tell them.
Okay, well, I guess we're gonna head back to our camp, but yeah, you know where to find us.
He just kind of nods.
And then Braz leaves very awkwardly.
All right. All right. So you guys make your way out of the cave. During all of this, the dwarven thrower that he had yoinked left. He's long gone. He left the cave. He went back to camp. He was out of there. But yeah, you guys make your way back out as well. It's still the middle of the night, pretty much. Like this was middle of the night that this happened. And you make your way back to the camp and find everybody there. The other dwarven thrower had gotten back and was joyfully received, and the professor, of course, was watching out for you all in the direction of the woods, worried about what had happened. I mean, seeing that dwarven thrower came back, but you guys didn't, certainly raised some worries. But he sees you all kind of coming out of the woods. Aside from the bit of an injury to Braz, not looking too worse for wear. And he sees you approaching, and he's like, "Well, you look surprisingly unfazed. That thing was huge. Yeah, I see a little bit of wound on there. We'll help you get that dressed up there, Braz. But what happened? What was it?"
You better sit down for this. This story is pretty crazy. and I'll tell him everything.
Okay. I mean, as you're relating this to him, the professor is pretty well aware of who that is, who Kalkik is. He remembers from his own time in the menagerie with the rest of you all. And the others that are nearby, listening, are all, also kind of surprised to hear this. One that, somebody else got away, and also about this, pretty wild transformation that had happened to him when he was not being chained down by the mistress. But at least everyone seems to understand the situation. They empathize. Trauma bonding all around. Soul Circus is trauma bonding party.
It's on our t-shirts.
Yeah, it's on our t-shirts. Right. But yeah, they all seem, especially after learning who it is, like they all seem content in the agreement that you all have come to kind of live and let live, and maybe he'll come along, but if not, well, at least things are good between you all. All right. And I think with that, and since we only have half of us today, we might call that there before we get into anything else. I think the next thing we're going to get into is probably the first show here in Escadar, because the main things that were keeping things from getting fully set up was, well, one, getting things cleared, which is pretty much done. That setup's done, and you guys have taken care of the problems in the woods nearby. So there's not really any obstacle left keeping you from getting that first show in, and hopefully showing the city of Escadar what you all are about. So keep that in mind for next time. That we're going to be doing another showing, and what you guys might want to do for that. But I think for now we'll call that there, since we're getting close to 9, and we got some good shit resolved. That was good stuff. Good stuff, guys.
Is there potential, while I'm thinking about it, that I could buy a few items?
Yes. Yeah, I would certainly say if there are things we need, we can certainly do that. I mean, it's the middle of the night. Once things have calmed down, you guys go to sleep. We get back up, and we go on with whatever. So if we need to do a little shopping or whatever around town as we prepare for the first show, we certainly can, because there is going to be some advertisement around town in as part of that process. So yeah. Sweet. Well, good shit, you guys. That was good. That could have been very nasty.
I kind of thought we were gonna die in that cave.
Greater Barguests are pretty nasty dudes. Like, considering that their bite attack was 2d10 plus 6 piercing with 1d6 persistent bleed damage, and
Well,
all of their hits are plus 17. So that would have gone real bad.
Oh, hey, that reminds me. Can you try and do something for me really quick on
Yeah,
my
what's up?
character sheet? So somewhere on my sheet is something that's given me a weakness to fire,
Hmm.
and it's an effect. And maybe you can just remove that effect from me.
Oh yeah, probably. I would
It's a racial, but I took a feat to fix that. Is what's going on.
Oh, I think I see it. It looks like it's on the combat page.
Yeah.
The character effects, the flammable one. Let's edit list.
If I right click that, I just can't delete that.
Okay, delete. Boom.
Thank you.
Sweet. Should be fixed. All right. Well, we'll see you guys next time. Let's see, which that would be what, like the 4th or 5th of August or something like that.
It'll be the 4th of August.
The 4th. Okay. Cool. Well, we will see you then. There'll be further things in Escadar. And I'm going to see who else is online right now that I can go shoot us over to.
Joe is.
Joe. I don't know if I know who Joe is. Unless that's
Joe Mama.
Oh, god damn it.
Oh
I
my
can't believe I
God.
walked into that. God damn it. Fuck.
Wow.
Alright.
Okay. Well, before we all go, I know this is normally Honker's thing, but I have a joke for you guys.
Oh, I mean we're all clowns. We're all clowns here. We can all tell jokes.
What is ET short for? No legs. I told that to a doctor the other day, and they stared at me blankly for 5 minutes. They did not get it.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
They
Alright.
didn't come up with that. We have a dad page, like social media thing through my work.
Yeah.
Your dad joke every day.
I love it. That's beautiful.
It makes me happy.
Cool. Alright, well, we'll see you guys next time. Looks like we'll go raid Steel. They're doing some stuff. What are they doing? Storytelling. Cool. We'll go check them out. See you guys.
See ya.
Alright. Let's go raid Steel Helm. See what they're up to. And off. Oh, probably should do the raid message. Raid. Here's our little thingy. And we will see you later. Hopefully some other stuff this weekend. I keep meaning to do stuff during the week, but stuff's been busy at work, but that has now cooled down a little bit, so hopefully we'll have some more streams coming up here soon. So off we go. Weep.
Eh?
Oh, we got raided.
Oh my goodness. Moogle Muffins! It's the Moogle Mob, Kupo! You came in at... Oh my god, how's this music, by the way?
This is very intense, a bit too intense.
This got a bit too intense, hold on.
Where's the one I just sent you?
Hold on.
That
Let's
might
put
work.
up